Number 5, Amanda Riley.
According to the New York Post, Amanda faked Hodgkin lymphoma and manipulated strangers to donate over $100,000 for her fake medical expenses. She pocketed all of the donations and then was court-ordered to repay all of the donors and has recently been sentenced to 5 years in prison, according to People.
Number 4, Dawn Lineberger.
According to WAFF 48 News, Dawn allegedly faked having stage 4 cancer for attention, and she allegedly stole over $10,000 from a church, as well as having TikTokers that followed her help her raise over $8,000 for her GoFundMe account. The following is a video that Dawn posted pretending to be very sick from fake chemotherapy treatments, as well as another woman explaining the extent that Dawn went through for this fraud.
I did have chemo this morning. I am not feeling well at all.
Really interesting how she got caught up. It wasn't just people online that she was scamming. It was people in her own community, churches, elderly people, and a lot of things that she was saying and doing didn't add up, and they got a little suspicious when it came to her fake surgery. Some members of the church had just kind of showed up. They'd given her a house, they'd given her money, they'd given her a vehicle. And when the hospital had no record of her having a surgery or even being in the system, some members of the church went back to the hospital later that day and got down to the bottom of it that Dawn never ever had cancer, and that was a fake surgery. And Dawn actually took it to the extreme to drive to the hospital and thought that she was just going to sit in the parking lot and wait it out, and I don't know. But yeah, so the church is the one that actually busted her. Thank God, poor people.
Number 3, Mary Bennett.
According to the Daily Mail, Mary told People she was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer in 2013, resulting in her being laid off from her nursing job. She shared this on social media, and donations quickly poured in to help her. With over $25,000 in donations, she used the money for skydiving, a hot air balloon ride, and trips to New Orleans and Houston. Authorities investigated her and found there was no records of any treatments. She was charged with theft and forgery.
People on the ground or anywhere else before we go.
Mary Bennett, Cumming resident, licensed practical nurse, and supposed stage 4 ovarian cancer victim, spending another day living like she was dying.
What do you predict this community is going to think?
Number 2, Tawny Fuller.
Fuller was a former Ohio State nurse that scammed her coworkers by making them believe she had terminal lung cancer, according to ABC6 report. She was sentenced to 24 months in prison for her acts of fraud after admitting to faking lung cancer and even wearing what she described as cancer costumes, according to WTXL 27.
And number 1, Sarah Schmidt.
Sarah faked muscular and spinal atrophy in 2015 and in 2016, according to the Daily Mail. She did so that she could attend a non-for-profit camp that was for disabled people, and she actually went to the extent to stay in a wheelchair so that people would bathe and dress her while she was attending the camp. In 2017 and 2018, she also pretended to have breast cancer solely so that she could attend a summit for people with cancer. She pled guilty to defrauding non-for-profits and was even featured on an episode of The Dr. Phil Show for lying addiction. She was recently sentenced to 18 months in prison for her actions.